For as long as I can remember, my family always took me camping and fishing, but it was always by water. Now, as I'm older, like when I go camping, I have to be by water. Just hearing it is something that brings just a peaceful feeling to me. My mom and dad met at the carnival. My dad used to work in the games that you win those stuffed animals in. That's kind of where they linked up, and it didn't last very long. My mom wound up having custody of me until I was 6. Then my dad got custody of me and took me down to Arizona, where I kind of grew up. I spent a lot of time with friends. In high school, we partied a lot. I have a lot of fond memories of it, but I also know that that was kind of the beginning of some darkness that was coming into my life. From high school, I joined the United States Marine Corps. I got medically discharged from the military. At that point in the very beginning, I got a good amount of prescription pain pills prescribed to me. I remember taking them, I felt good, my energy was good. Eventually the pills weren't enough. I'd moved on to heroin. Completely took over my life. Went from having a house, car, nice job, to not caring about my house anymore, crashing at people's places. Got arrested again in California. Decided that I needed to go back to Arizona. I'd probably do better down there. But looking back, I was just running from all my problems. I called my dad. He told me to come out to Vegas. I can help him out. He wasn't doing very well. We can kind of rebuild together. For a few months, everything was great. I got a job at a gym, and then I started bickering with my dad. I started fighting with him. So I left his house, and then I was back out on the streets again. At some point, I had track marks all over my arm. This thought came into my head that either I'm gonna die or my dad's gonna die. We would have never had a good relationship. And I don't know what it was about that thought and those feelings that I had, but it was terrifying. I called my dad crying. I asked him to please take me to the VA. I need a lot of help. I told him I don't think I'm gonna survive. He picked me up from a parking lot, drove me straight to the VA. I knew in my heart I wanted help. I didn't know what to do. I was so lost. They said, okay, put you on a plane on Monday. You're going to Fallon, Nevada. You can go to New Frontier Treatment Center. The staff there, they truly cared more about me than I think at that point than I did myself. I rightfully should have been kicked out of there. I punched a hole in a wall. I drank a goldfish out of the tank. I remember when it came time for me to be kicked out, the director came over to me and they're like, do you want to be here? And it was weird. It was about 29 days in. I was a great athlete. I was in the Marine Corps. Challenging myself is something I did, and I can't sit in a building where they give me a bed, a roof over my head, meals. I was so disappointed in myself. So I asked for one more chance. And it was like after, I think around 31 days, my mind started to clear up. I started to participate in groups, started talking to people, and I can feel myself starting to come back. When I walked out of that treatment center after about 80 days, I had my own key to my own apartment. I had a bunch of new friends in recovery, and I really felt like I had a chance. I stayed there in Fallon for another 6 more months just because that's where my support system was, and then I moved out to Reno. 5 days before my 2-year mark, I relapsed. I'd torn my shoulder. Somebody gave me a pain pill, and then I went to buying a bunch of pain pills. So I did that for about 3 months, messed around with a little heroin, and I stopped. I'm just like, this is not what I'm here to do anymore. At that point, I'd already been speaking at treatment centers and people like asking me for help. And I feel like not only did I let them all down, but I let myself down. Went back to the VA just to kind of help me wean off. And I'd stopped taking everything, and I found out that I needed a spine surgery. Did it, came out, didn't need pain meds. I felt like that was a big turning point in my life because they even tried to hand me a prescription. And I said, no, I'm okay. It was just absolutely magical on how many great things just started happening. You know, the making it through my surgery without relapsing there, meeting the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, who is now my wife, job opportunities. Since I work from home, I have a little bit more flexibility in coaching the kids' soccer teams now. I've always regretted everything that happened in my 20s. But God's put me on a path to where those experiences I have a purpose to look back at these 4 years and see how much things have changed, it's like night and day. Through all this, aside from my marriage, the other relationship that's really taken off is the one with my dad. I don't think my dad has ever been so proud of me. He was there for me for everything. I put him through years and years of stress and turmoil. And recently in this last year, my dad fell on his own hard times, which kind of gave him an opportunity to come up here closer to me, just to be able to be there for him and support him when he needs it. That's just something that I hold very deeply into my heart. My dad's definitely my best friend. I thank God that I can be in a position to support him and be there for him.